There's always been homosexuality to some degree, but never where it is accepted by country after country and state after state. We've wondered what is really going on, that this is happening so rapidly and all over the world. That is a tremendous sign that we're right at the threshold of Judgment Day. Wake up! This is going to happen. May 21, Judgment Day will begin. It was always very interesting to me that here is family radio that is insisting on the truth of the Bible and trying to tell the whole world, living right next door to San Francisco. How interesting that God has placed us here, right in the cesspool.
And shall we take our next call, please? Welcome to Open Forum.
Good evening, Mr. Camping. My husband brought something to my attention today. I didn't know if you had heard that the Presbyterian churches are allowing homosexual clergy.
Yes, I read about that in the newspaper, and I'm not surprised at all.
That just fits perfectly. God has delivered the churches up to this kind of a sin, and He's delivered up the whole world to this kind of a sin. It all fits perfectly into the signs of the end, that we're right on the threshold of Judgment Day. Romans chapter 1, God says that there would come a time when He would give up the world to homosexuality and lesbianism. Very curious. It's both homosexual and lesbian.
And He's given us sign after sign after sign that the time has come, like the sign of the enormous wickedness that has come into the world, the sign of the great gay pride movement and the same-sex movement, a big sign. So we know absolutely it is going to happen. It is going to happen. There's no possibility that it will not happen.
Constantly we've had reports on that, what's going on over there, and the drug culture and all the other ugly things that are going on.
Have you ever gotten a phone call on Open Forum from someone who was maybe struggling with...
Of course we get calls like that, and I always encourage them, if they become a child of God, then there'll be a big change in their character. They won't want to be that anymore. That's just the nature of salvation. That's why, for example, an alcoholic, alcohol for them has become their God. They find that if they take that drink, they can face life. The person who's a homosexual, his slave is sex. He can't give it up. It just possesses him. Anything that we are a slave to, that becomes a god. The only way that they can get real victory over it is if they have their heart changed, and only God can do that. We've just lived in a very wicked area, and Romans 1 explains that God has given them up. And when we tie that to Jude, verse 7, God there talks about destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah are an example of the end of the world. The big sin that was in view there was homosexuality.
And when they shall have finished their testimony, the beast that ascendeth out of the bottomless pit shall make war against them, and shall overcome them and kill them, and their dead bodies shall be in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord was crucified. And what is your question?
Do you know that our judgment is on the Sabbath?
Nothing changes from day to day except that we're a big, big step closer to the end. And when I think about just 6 days more, oh my, what a huge thought. How can any one of us with our present brains really contemplate how big that is? We can't.